This is Bond Month on Mr. B's Ukulele channel. I hope you enjoy the videos and songs that I've put together for you. Please like and subscribe if you do. This is the tutorial for You Only Live Twice, sung by Nancy Sinatra in 1967 and featured in the Bond film of the same name with Sean Connery. Okay, this is one of my really difficult pieces. I'm putting it in as a level 6 piece, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Okay, it's got some finger picking in, it's got some chords in, some tricky chords, and some very simple strumming actually, but that's the only easy part of this song. So we're going to have a look at the finger picking first of all, then we'll have a look at the chords and the strumming, and then I'll talk you through the layout and give you a bit of a walk through the song. Okay, let's look at the finger picking first of all. So it's got the lovely Bond theme from You Only Live Twice, and we're going to finger pick that mostly on the A string. Now let me talk you through the diagram I've put together for this, and you'll see you've got two lines of the ukulele on there, the A and the E string, and most of this happens on the A string with just the final two notes on the E string underneath. And you can see also I've color coded it, so have a look at the top line where it says thumb, index, pinch, and all the red notes I want you to do with your thumb, and all the blue ones with your index finger. So I'm going to alternate between my thumb and my index finger, and I personally just find it more comfortable to start with my index, although if you want to start with your thumb and do it the other way around, that's okay. But for me, it's index first, thumb, and alternate down the line until we get to the purple ones where I've said pinch, and I'll explain what that means in a moment. So we're up here on the 12th fret, and the numbers simply relate to the different frets. And you'll probably have a dot on your fingerboard showing you where the 12th fret is. Otherwise you can just count, but you should have marked certain numbers including 10 and 12 normally on your fingerboards. So we start off with the 12th fret on the A string, and then it goes to the 11 and back to 12, so down to the 9, down to the 7. Now when I go from the 9 to the 7 and then later down to the 5, I try and do a bit of a slide. Let me play that and give you the slide. And you get that slide just by moving your finger and holding it tight on the whole string in between as you slide down to the lower note. You just get a tiny little slide effect there. So on the double sevens in the second bar, starting on the 10, another slide down to the 5 there, back to the 7, and now we pinch it. I'm going to use my thumb and finger together to pinch the strings on the 7. Just gives a slightly more rounded effect. Up to the 9. And then I cross over at the end onto the E string, just those last two notes. You can play it down here on the A string. You can do the whole thing on the A string if you want, but it's more of a leap all the way down there. Much easier. Much easier to play it on the E string there at the end. And then we go into verse 1. So you go straight from that into verse 1. So let's look at the chords you'll need in the verse as well. Now this is a challenging piece, as I've said, and one of the reasons for that is not just the finger picking that I've added there. That's not actually too difficult once you get your fingers around that, but one of the really difficult parts of this song is the E chord that you're going to need. Now the E chord, if you're not familiar with it, looks like that, and it is pretty horrendous. There you are, there's your E chord. First finger at the top there, sounds fine. Second finger back all the way down here. Third finger there on the 4th fret on the 3rd string up on the C string. Okay, so it's a real awkward stretch. It's really nasty, and it does give you cramp if you're not careful. You've got to really practice that chord over a period of time so your fingers just get used to it, build up the muscle memory and get used to that. It's a nasty chord. In some songs I try and switch the E for an E7 if I can, because the E7 is a nice easy chord to play, and sometimes you can switch the two and it doesn't make a lot of difference to the song. This is one of the songs where you can't switch it because it's got the E7 in quite a few times as well, and it wants the contrast between the E and the E7. So let's practice that. We'll need it with the D minor, which is quite easy, and we should be familiar with the D minor. let's just do some down strums and practice the D minor to E. And that's the bit you really need to practice, and you can't really have a go at the song until you can at least vaguely have a go at that chord sequence there. So on a D minor first, and the E, and back to the D minor, and the E. There you go, and you've got to do that 2 more times, that change there. So D minor to E. If we look at the chorus, we'll come to that in a little while. The D minor to E is dominant in the chorus there. So you really need to be comfortable with that transition before you have a go at this song, or at least capable of trying it in the middle of a song before you have a go at the song. Okay, the rest of the chords are not too difficult at all. Starts on an A, nice and easy, and then the E minor, D minor we've talked about, and then back to the A, and then the only other chord we've got in there is the E7. So the rest of the chords are really easy. It's just that E in there, that D minor to E, and that change to the E every time that really makes it more challenging. Now the strumming is really simple, so we'll have a go with some of the strumming in a minute. If I do it on the introduction, the A to E minor, D minor, A, and it's just a nice simple down, down, up. So just really nice and steady all the way through. Take the tempo nice and slow. It's a beautiful slow song, and just enjoy a nice lilting down, down, up, down, down, up. So nothing difficult there. Right, let's look at the layout. I'll give you a walkthrough now of the piece. Basically, we've got the verse 1, then we've got chorus and verse 2, and then we repeat the chorus, and verse 2 is repeated to basically be verse 3. So verse 1, chorus, verse 2, repeat chorus and verse 2 is effectively the layout. Let me talk you through it. So it starts off, we do the finger picking first of all, then we go into verse 1 on the A. You only live, E minor, twice, down to the D minor, or so hit A, back to the A, seems to the D minor again, one life for your E minor self, and then to the D minor, and one for your E dreams. Now that goes really high there, so you can sing that up the octave if you can, and then there's an E7 on the end of that. So you sing dreams on the E, dreams, and then there's a delayed chord transition. You put the E7 on the end of that. Then into the third line, you drift through the E minor, years, and D minor, life seems a tame, D minor, till one dream her E minor appears, and D minor, love is its a name. Now we get to the chorus and the really tricky bit. So we go down to the D minor, and love is an E, stranger, who'll down to the D minor again, beckon you E on, same again, we're going to do it 4 times again, D minor, don't think of the danger, or the stranger is gone, with the E7 on the end again. And then verse 2, this dream is for E minor, you. So D minor, play the A, price, D minor, make one dream come E minor, true, you, D minor and A, only live twice. And then it just repeats the chorus and verse 3, and I've just put an extra E minor, and A on the end of the piece as well to fade out on. And there we go, that's the piece. So there's not a lot to it in many respects. It's not a long piece with lots of different complicated patterns, but you've got difficult finger picking section to learn to begin with. When I say difficult, it's just delicate. You've got to be really delicate with that. And then the very challenging E chord. So that's why I've put it in as a level 6 piece. So I hope you enjoy the challenge. It is a beautiful song once you got the hang of it. Do take care. Thank you.